This may sound dramatic, but I spent years of my life living in survival mode, fighting my body, my mind, and my nervous system. When you have severe food allergies, you don't just fear having a reaction. You fear restaurants, travel, relationships, and even cooking in your own kitchen. It's constant, and it takes a toll. About 5 years ago, I realized my body didn't just need to feel safe from food, but it needed to feel safe in general. I started to slow down, healing my nervous system, and rebuilding my life here on island. If you've ever felt like your body is working against you, or you want to live a softer, more intentional life, I hope this gives you some peace today. I have lived with severe food allergies ever since I was a kid, and most people don't know what that looks like in daily life, whether that's grocery shopping, eating out, or even traveling. And it has so much more to do than just the food allergy itself. It really has to do with my whole nervous system being on high alert. I got diagnosed with anaphylaxis to dairy products, so that's milk, cheese, and butter, when I was just a baby. Ever since then, I've really been struggling with this for all of my life. I get asked a lot, is it lactose intolerance? And the answer is no. I am allergic to the milk protein, and it is truly a full body reaction. And you must bear with me, because even talking about these moments, because they are life and death, just feel so heavy on my chest when discussing them. But it is pretty bad. It is anaphylaxis, so that's deathly allergic to dairy products. Basically what happens is I have about 30 minutes before my body goes into anaphylactic shock after ingesting dairy, and my throat will ultimately close. So I need to take my EpiPen, take Benadryl, and basically have a precautionary system if I ever were to eat something that were unsafe. I would like to say that this is not a regular thing, but I had my first allergic reaction when I was a baby and continue to have them throughout my life pretty consistently. And that is when I learned to kind of carry an EpiPen on me at all times. And not only would I need to carry an EpiPen, but there are so many emotions that you need to carry when it comes to having severe food allergies. At a certain point, I got so stuck living in survival mode that I didn't even know that my body was stuck there. This is where I really started to heal my nervous system. I started taking a lot more time to be gentle with myself, be considerate to what I was going through day to day. Truly, after years of struggling with disordered eating, I decided that it was time to take my control back. I basically started veganism. I did an elimination diet and took everything out of my system slowly but surely, except for basically whole and natural foods, not eating any meat, fish, honey. And then I moved to the islands and started reincorporating these things back into my diet. I found that my body had built a resilience to some of these foods and really found what worked for me and what didn't. Instead of fighting my body, I learned how to make it feel safe, and really I started incorporating more and more foods into my diet, but finding meals that felt safe and good in my body, that were easy to make and that I knew I could go back to. That was about 5 years ago now, and now I am fully eating meat again. I slowly just became vegetarian, pescatarian, and now I am really just eating 80-20, as much whole, natural, processed foods as I can eat, and some balance there, while of course maintaining a dairy-free diet, because anything else would literally kill me. So what did I do differently? What healed my nervous system, so to speak? Because healing is such a subjective term, and when it really comes down to it, I have seen a complete 180 in my health from that time to this timeline. And I think the major difference is the amount of reactions I'm having and the time between them. I have taken so much time to make my life slower, inviting morning practice into my days. Again, meditation, breath work, yoga are your simplest and yet most vital tools when it comes to this, because you are resetting, you're regulating your nervous system, and you are proving to yourself that there is a safe place within yourself to go back to, so that even when you do have an allergic reaction or things feel out of your control, you're faced with a life or death situation, you know that you're okay and you have a safe space inside yourself. Wow, these chickens are going off in my yard. There really was a time in my life where a full body reset was necessary, and nowadays I don't need as much of an all or nothing mentality because I have been so consistent, because I've shown up for myself over the years. I can rely on my morning practice. It doesn't always look the same. It's not as strict as it used to be, and there's a lot more journaling, and because I'm not as volatile, there's a lot more relationships that I've been able to invite into my life. So I think that my life has really benefited 10 times over from taking the time to regulate my nervous system, invite a soft, slow life back, and just stop judging myself on the overall productivity. I think just growing up on the East Coast, there was so much of me that always just wanted to be like bata bata bata, just always on the go, always wanting to show that I was maybe the busiest, and I never was. I always was struggling with my health throughout my life. So now that I have this opportunity to be healthy, I find that I have these super high expectations for myself and am constantly falling short, when in reality, to show up is the very best thing that you can do at all. And the only reason I have made as much progress as I have is consistently showing up for myself over the years, showing up for myself, bringing an EpiPen everywhere, bringing Benadryl everywhere, learning how to advocate for myself in having a food allergy, and this just goes so very deep. Let's move this energy around a little bit. I really need to go for a little bit of a walk and take a deep breath, because this is a lot to kind of share at once. I will be bringing this flower home to put in the pua vase, but just to know, if you ever are feeling despair, you could always go outside and pick yourself a flower. It could be anything. I remember when I was young, it was forsythia from the forsythia bushes in my backyard, so really anything that just makes you feel more present. We are planning every last detail of our life. I feel like that is a very important part of the reset day, is just diving into all of the different notebooks that I have. This is my main planner and my trusted go-to. I also have these two journals. This one is genuinely my brain dump journal that I will just pour absolutely anything and everything into, along with some productivity lists that will then kind of make their way into my planner once I have it a little bit more organized. And then last but not least, I have my Japanese study journal, which I just got this one, so I'm still pretty early into it, but I'm so excited to fill the pages because it's so nice. I consider this one of the most necessary parts of a reset day. Again, is just sitting down and kind of getting yourself in order. I don't know how, but I am just now discovering Notion, which makes my life a whole lot easier and helps me plan these kind of videos. It is helping me plan my 3-part series that I'm working on about life with food allergies, this being part 1. So I am just so excited, and it just, again, makes my life a little bit easier because I am balancing. I'm working full time, passion projects, content creation, and just wanting to show up for myself fully with everything that we just discussed. So I am using Notion to plan everything, make some templates, and then get that onto my phone calendar. So it is about to low-key start downpouring here. I can feel it, so I'm going to roll up my towel and do a little bit of house chores, maybe make myself a little snack. Okay, I finished the 3 bowls, but I didn't touch the bases. Alrighty friends, we're coming to close on a very beautiful and very full day. I'm feeling so blessed and just so lucky to be alive. This life that I live is far from perfect, but it's a lot more gentle than the life I used to live, and for that I am so grateful. As we were talking about earlier, there is such moment-to-moment anxiety, and to be real, I have not beaten that anxiety. If I ever go to a cafe or I'm out with a new friend and I need to order, I am of course so embarrassed, but I just kind of have that script ready in my head and I need to be able to advocate for myself fully. So taking this time to focus on slowing down, safe meals, and tiny moments within my life that make me feel more and more healthy. It wasn't always this way. I spent a lot of my life just kind of waiting for things to change. So once I took some time to really establish what healing looked like for me, healing looked like for me, life became more manageable, and I really encourage you to go find that for yourself. And truly, we are ever-changing beings, so we need to give ourselves the room to do so. So anyway, if you want to continue down this healing journey with me, again, healing is so subjective, but to me, it's really just the day-to-day healing that I can find in my struggles with food allergies and chronic illness. I have so much to unpack, but this is all I have for you today, sweet friends. Really, just if you live with severe food allergies or if you live in survival mode, you're not alone. I hope my little life here reminds you that a softer, safer life is possible. Thank you so very much for being here. I hope you feel just so safe and loved today, and I'll see you in a video soon.